Some of the most powerful medicine in the Sunnah was never something you eat or drink at all. It was something you do. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, left behind a whole set of treatments and daily habits for the skin, the eyes, the gut, the mind, even the way you sleep, and each one was tied to a specific part of the body. Today we are going through 10 of these prophetic remedies, counting down, one for every ailment you might be carrying right now. And the one at the very top he described as the best of all the remedies a person has. Bismillah, let us begin. Number 10. For your teeth and gums. The miswak, in Arabic. The siwak, a soft twig from the arak tree. The Prophet, peace be upon him, loved it so much that he said, as recorded in Sahih al-Bukhari, that if he did not fear it would be too hard on his followers, he would have ordered them to use the siwak before every single prayer. 5 times a day he wanted clean teeth. And modern dentistry has caught up completely. The World Health Organization itself has recognized the miswak as an effective oral hygiene tool, and studies show the arak twig is naturally antibacterial, fighting the exact germs that cause plaque and gum disease, often as well as a toothbrush. To follow the Sunnah, you can buy a real miswak stick cheaply online, or look for toothpastes that contain siwak extract. But the next remedy was for a part of the body even more delicate than the gums. Number 9. For tired, weak eyes. Ithmid, a natural coal made from pure antimony stone. The Prophet, peace be upon him, encouraged the use of ithmid, saying it brightens the sight and helps the eyelashes grow, and he would apply it to each eye before sleep. Now, here is where I have to stop and give you a serious safety warning, because this channel will always protect you first. Many of the coals sold today, especially cheap ones, are contaminated with lead, which is genuinely dangerous and must never go near a child's eyes. The Sunnah is pure ithmid stone, nothing else. So if you ever use it, you make absolutely sure it is certified pure and lead-free, or you simply leave it alone. The tradition is real, but your safety comes first. The next remedy is one you have probably only ever seen as decoration. Number 8. For the skin, the nails, and aching joints. Henna, in Arabic henna, it is narrated that the Prophet, peace be upon him, recommended henna, and that whenever he had a wound or a sore, he would apply it. Far beyond a dye, henna was a treatment. Its active compound has real antifungal and antibacterial properties, and it has a natural cooling effect on the skin, which is why it was used on sore joints and irritated skin for centuries across the Muslim world. One firm warning: use only natural, plain henna, and never the so-called black henna, which contains a harsh chemical called PPD that can burn and scar the skin badly. Natural henna only. The next remedy you rub in rather than put on. Number 7. For dry skin and hair. Olive oil, used on the body, not just in the food. The Prophet, peace be upon him, told his companions to eat olive oil and to anoint themselves with it, because it comes from a blessed tree. So this is the same blessed oil, but used a completely different way, worked into the skin and the scalp. Olive oil is rich in squalene and vitamin E, which is exactly why it sits in so many expensive moisturizers today, sealing in moisture and calming irritated, dry skin. To follow the Sunnah, warm a little extra virgin olive oil between your hands and massage it into dry patches of skin or into your scalp before washing. The next one the Prophet pointed to for an actual wound. Number 6. For wounds and burns. Honey, applied to the skin. We know honey is food, but the Prophet, peace be upon him, and the tradition after him used it directly on wounds. And here the modern science is genuinely strong. Medical-grade honey is now used in real hospitals on wounds and burns that will not heal, because it pulls moisture out of bacteria and releases hydrogen peroxide slowly, and it works even against resistant superbugs. One important point so you stay safe: this means proper, sterile, medical-grade honey on a clean wound. Not the kitchen jar smeared on a deep cut, but the principle the tradition knew is fully proven. Now we are halfway, so let me change the kind of remedy completely, and the next 4 are not things you apply at all, they are things you do. We are 5 remedies in, so pause for a second and notice the pattern. A twig, a stone, a leaf, an oil, honey, not one of these is a pill or a prescription. They are simple, natural, and most of them cost almost nothing, and the Prophet, peace be upon him, pointed to every one of them over 1400 years ago. If you are finding this useful, take a moment to hit the like button. It honestly helps this reach more families. Now the final 5, and they only get more powerful. Number 5. For tiredness and a struggling heart, the midday nap, in Arabic, the kailula. The Prophet, peace be upon him, encouraged a short rest in the middle of the day, and the early Muslims treated it almost as part of their routine, not as laziness. And modern science strongly agrees. Studies link a short daytime nap, around 20 to 30 minutes, to lower blood pressure, a healthier heart, sharper memory, and better mood in the afternoon. The key, like the Sunnah, is to keep it short, a real nap, not a long sleep that leaves you groggy. A 20-minute kailula after the midday meal is one of the simplest health upgrades you can make. The next one is about how you lie down at night. Number 4. For better sleep and digestion, sleeping on the right side. The Prophet, peace be upon him, taught his companions to lie down on their right side as they went to sleep, with the right hand under the cheek. For centuries this was simply a beautiful sunnah. Now sleep researchers find that sleep position genuinely matters, that it affects how the heart works through the night and how easily acid stays down in the stomach. And many doctors recommend side sleeping for exactly these reasons. A small habit with real effects on the quality of the hours you spend asleep. The next one is the single most studied health practice in the world right now. Number 3. For your weight and your whole metabolism. Eating in moderation, the way the Prophet described it. He said, as recorded in the collections, that the son of Adam fills no vessel worse than his stomach, and that a few mouthfuls to keep the back straight are enough. But if he must eat more, then 1/3 for food, 1/3 for drink, and 1/3 left for breath. Think about how far ahead of its time that is. Portion control, described in a single sentence. 1400 years before the science of overeating existed. Filling only 1/3 of your stomach with food is, in effect, gentle calorie control, the one dietary habit most consistently tied to a longer, healthier life. The next one takes that idea even further. Number 2. For deep, whole-body renewal. Fasting, in Arabic, Sawm, beyond the obligatory fast of Ramadan. The Prophet, peace be upon him, regularly fasted on Mondays and Thursdays and in the middle of the lunar month. And the modern science here is some of the most exciting in medicine. When the body goes without food for a stretch, it begins clearing out and recycling its own damaged cells, a self-cleaning process called autophagy, and the scientist who mapped how it works won the Nobel Prize in 2016. Fasting is also shown to improve insulin sensitivity and steady blood sugar. The Prophet built this rhythm of hunger into the week, every week, long before anyone could explain why it healed. But there is one remedy left, and it is the one he placed above all the others. Number 1. For pain, for circulation, for the whole body. Cupping, in Arabic, Hijama, this is the one I promised you, because the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, as recorded in Sahih al-Bukhari, that the best of the remedies you treat yourselves with is cupping, the best. Out of everything in the tradition, this is the one he singled out with that word. Hijama is the practice of drawing a small amount of blood through gentle suction on the skin, and it has been used across the Muslim world for pain, for circulation, and for general well-being for 14 centuries. Now let me be honest with you, the way I always will be. The modern scientific evidence for cupping is still limited and mixed, with the most promising results so far in easing certain kinds of pain, like back pain and migraines. It is not a proven cure for disease, and anyone telling you that is going too far. But the Prophet, peace be upon him, gave it the highest place among remedies. It is performed safely by trained practitioners across the world today, and the research into it is only growing. 10 remedies, and not one of them came from a pharmacy. A twig, a stone, an oil, a nap, a way of eating, a way of sleeping, and the cupping he called the best of them all. None of it was invented. It was taught, practiced, and remembered long before science arrived to explain why so much of it works. If this was useful to you, subscribe so more of it reaches you, and tell me in the comments which of these remedies you are going to try first. May Allah bring healing and barakah into your home.